I'm waiting for the day when we can do a post-mortem of Dominic Ayini's tenure as the Attorney General of Ghana, because it's getting really, really interesting. And that book, that documentary will be very interesting. The time on the tenure of Dominic Ayini and Justice Sremsai at the Attorney General's Department. The two fine gentlemen who run the Attorney General's Department, we're going to do a post-mortem on them. It's going to be very interesting. The kinds of things that will be in that post-mortem will be very interesting. And they will understand on that day that the pen is always mightier than the sword. Both of them, Dominic Ayini and Sremsai, they will get to know that the pen is mightier than the sword. The day we conduct the post-mortem is going to come. It's going to come. Nobody can stop it. It's like a wind. It's going to come. We will have occasion to conduct a post-mortem on Dominic Ayini and Sremsai's performance. This is Kwabena Boahen. Do you know where the case is gone right now? So in the witness box, give me the court card. Give me the court card. Let's start with the court card. So the court card says that I am not aware of the AG's press conference about Adom Boahen's case. Frank Marshall Cromwell. This is where we are. This is where the embarrassment has come to. Dominic Ayini held press conferences discussing Kwabena Boahen and what he has done and what he did and what he has done and da. He said he has filed the charges, and he even called the charges the thriller in Manila. I think at that time, Dominic Ayini felt that this was some child's play. It was a joke. So he came to press conference bragging and called this the thriller in the Manila. That thriller in Manila is Muhammad Ali's something. We can talk about that another time. But this is what Dominic Ayini came to say, because he sounds like a newspaper editor who is looking for a headline. That's how the press conferences look like that. It looked like Dominic Ayini is a newspaper editor, or he's listening to a newspaper editor who is trying to design a headline that can catch the attention of people in traffic so that they can buy the Chronicle, they can buy the Statesman, they can buy the Crusading Guide. It looked like that's what Dominic Ayini was doing. That's where the disappointment was for most of the lawyers, because law is in a completely different area. It's a different kettle of fish for law in terms of finding out whether somebody has done something wrong or not. Journalism is a whistleblowing activity. That's what we all do here. And that's why the libel laws protect the journalists, because journalists are whistleblowers. We may not necessarily have the evidence, but we are whistleblowers. We blow the whistle, you check it out, and there's no evidence, fair enough. But attorney generals are not whistleblowers. Attorney generals are the principal legal advisor to the government. Principal legal advisor to the government. And in Ghana, an attorney general is also the minister for justice. He is the minister who is supposed to deliver justice. Justice must ooze out of the attorney general, because he is the minister of justice. You have an attorney general who does not keep the principles of justice. He arrests people anyhow, he says anything, he does a press conference. Cromwell, let's get back to the court card. Cromwell said that Cromwell says, I am not aware of the AG's press conference about Adom Boahen. What is the AG's press conference? During cross-examination, learned counsel for the defense, Atachia, asked Cromwell, you are the investigator. You must have provided the basis for those press conferences that were held by the Attorney General. This is what the Attorney General said in the press conference. Can you deal with it? Cromwell says, me, wallahi, I don't know anything about any press conference. We selected two videos of the press conference for you to have a look at. Let's go to the video number one. I believe the video number one is saying about Adom Boahen's homes and houses and all of that. Have a look at video number one.
Now, today something happened in court. Counsel for the defense told the judge that whatever I had said was a figment of my own imagination. But of course, he is entitled to earn his fee. So he can say that. I have been briefed constantly and regularly. I have seen the evidence. And everybody who knows me knows that if I haven't seen the evidence, I won't be in front of you today. I have seen the evidence. The reason why some people have opted to testify is because they know that the case is watertight. So, counsel can continue to say what he's saying, but when we present the evidence in court, he will know that this is far from being imaginative. I have a very fertile imagination, but not in this case.
On February 6, 2020, Mr. Boahen then transferred an initial amount of 27,100,000 Ghana cedis, that is from the National BNC's operations account at Fidelity Bank to the private BNC account at UMB. Official documentation on the transfer revealed that the amount was for the payment of cyber defense system software, which the National BNC was buying from ISC Holdings in Israel. Mr. Boahen, in effect, transferred the money from the National BNC to his private company, the private BNC. A review of the transactions on the bank accounts reveals that once the funds from the National BNC landed in the account of his private BNC at UMB Bank, Mr. Boahen caused his private BNC to transfer an amount of 9,537,520 Ghana cedis to ISC Holdings in Israel. By the exchange rate at the time, this amount was the Ghana cedi equivalent of 1,750,000 United States of American dollars.
You saw the video. That's Dominic Ayeni talking about Boahen has this, Boahen has that. The investigator says he doesn't know anything about those things. He doesn't know anything about property. He doesn't know anything about it. That he didn't even pay attention to the press conferences. You heard what Dominic Ayeni said in the press conference. He said, if Atachian knows what I know, that if Atachian knows what he knows, and what he meant by that is that he has seen some documents. Now, if the investigator, who was the principal repository of the information relating to all the findings about Boahen and the other accused persons, if the investigator says that I do not know about the press conference, then how did Dominic Ayeni's press conference tell us that from what he has seen, this is what is going to happen? You see the bizarre state in which they have reduced the office of the Attorney General to. The very bizarre state in which they've reduced the office of the Attorney General. It's not a gossipy office. The Attorney General is gossiping. Why are you giving me this all the time? Sorry. The Attorney General is gossiping. A whole Attorney General is a gossip. That's what he's doing. You go and hold press conferences. We come to court. The investigator says, I do not know anything about those press conferences.
Lawyer Paul Adom and the Dinsime Brena Tujano. Apparently a penny Dr. Dominic Ayeni at the Quadu Ebo Bia. Obedinka Ababe press conference and any excitement out the Babe Tuja. Say, if I edit to the Kwabena Adubuahen case, no, Kwabena Adubuahen, he say, what transfers can be account to him, where we are SKB say, now a moon sem and a press conference, no moon sem or the betu Janina, now at the end, or the Beko court, now court and betu just say, a banner a penny Dr. Dominic Ayeni, or press conference, oh yeah, FA a year Kwabena Adubuahen, and Winina, no, irrelevant. Now the answer Jibre, the Incote lawyer Paul Adom and Sempakra, or Sakafa in Simunina.
Watch the Attorney General again in the second video where he's talking about Thriller in Manila. He's bragging. He's really bragging. He's showboating who he is and how he's going to deal with the Boahen trial. Since the trial began, Dominic Ayeni himself doesn't come to court. Srem Sai didn't come to court on Monday. Look at the video.
Ladies and gentlemen, when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic, observed that the entire country was a crime scene, he knew what he was talking about. Some people bashed him for it, but the president knows because I brief him on a constant and a regular basis on what is happening with respect to our investigations. We are working diligently on several dossiers that will shock the conscience of the nation. If what suspect Boahen and his wife has done is like a thriller in Manila, please brace yourself for a rumble in the jungle in the next few weeks. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
That was Dominic Ayeni, the almighty Dominic Ayeni, at the press conference, doing big things and trying to show that Boahen had stolen money. Now, they come to court and the investigator says, I do not know anything. I cannot confirm anything in the press conference. Was it not the same press conference? Was the same investigator's report that they used to do the press conference? The Attorney General, the investigator, Cromwell, is throwing you under the bus. Cromwell is throwing you under the bus. He says that he doesn't know anything about your widely proposed and widely publicized press conferences gossiping about people's money and people's homes and watches and bags and all the gossiping that was done at the press conference. Your investigator says he doesn't know anything about it. He's the investigator whose report we all believed you were relying on. And that's what your people made us believe, that you are relying on the investigator's report. You have heard in court, you were not there, but you have heard that the investigator says that he doesn't know anything about the thing you are saying. He knows nothing about it. Zero about it. What do we do now? Learned Attorney General appointed under Article 88, the very sacred Article 88 of the Republican Constitution of 1992, under which you have been appointed. That sacred article, we cannot protect the integrity of Article 88. The learned Dominic Aini, we cannot now protect the integrity of Article 88. We can't protect it anymore. Article 88 has now become a platform for gossip. One of the most sacred articles of the Republican Constitution of 1992, Article 88, which is appointing a principal legal advisor to the government. We can now use that platform to gossip, and an investigator will come to court and say that he does not know anything about the press conferences of the Attorney General. This is where you have brought us. This is where we are. Please, take us up. Take us higher. We belong higher. We don't belong here. You have brought us too low. Take us higher. This is Ghana, for God's sake. This is Ghana. Look at the history of attorney generals. Look at Godfrey Bain. Look at Carl Swansea. Look at Ian Moore. Look at Obeda Samoa. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Don't do that. Look at your former boss, Marietta. Did Marietta ever come and do press conference that she's prosecuting anybody? Now you do these press conferences. Your investigator says, I don't know anything about the press conference. This is how low you have brought Article 88. Please, we love you. Don't do that. Desist from that. If Sremsa is giving you wrong advice, tell him to keep quiet. If somebody at Iyoko is giving you wrong advice, please tell him that you love him, but you can't do this because you are such a distinguished law lecturer. Which is what you are. You are a distinguished law lecturer. So why is this happening? Such a distinguished law lecturer. When you appointed, I clapped. When you appointed, many people clapped. All the people you taught, they clapped. But look at what you are doing. You are standing Article 88 on its head. You are causing arrest of people that the court has allowed them to travel. That's Article 88. Don't let your postmortem look too bad. Don't do that. Oh my goodness. This is serious, man. Wow. We can't wait to see how that matter will end. We can't wait.